we are being joined live from the floor by our associate editor Oinitom Oja on the topic of union budget today. Well, Oinitom, first of all, a very good morning. It's a big day today for the entire country. We are expecting Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to be presenting the union budget 2024 in a short while from now. Over to you, Oinitom.
Absolutely, Amrita. A very good morning. In fact, today is the day. Lot of excitement, lot of hectic movement as far as New Delhi is concerned, the national capital. There's a lot of buzz starting from the residences of the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, the MOS Finances. There has been a lot of activity that we have been seeing since early morning today. In fact, to be very precise, it was even, it was little after 8 o'clock that the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had left her residence in New Delhi. She drove straight to the Finance Ministry situated at North Block up the Raisina Hills, opposite South Block, very close to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. There she did the last minute formalities that is always done. These are customary traditional things that the Finance Minister does before presenting the union budget. Of course, soon after that, we saw that particular picture where she stood with her team, the Finance Ministry team, and this time round, one more time, the Bahi Khata is gone. Of course, the British era briefcase was gone long back. If I am correct, it went away way back in 2014 when Prime Minister Narendra Modi took charge as the Prime Minister of the nation. That is when the British era briefcase was done away with. Then came in the red color Bahi Khata, very Indian business-like. And now, since 2021, we have been seeing the tablet, of course, digital India. How better way to put it across than the Finance Minister herself carrying the tablet to the Parliament. This time round too, we saw Finance Minister carrying the tablet. In fact, that is the tablet that holds everything as far as the union budget is concerned. The hope, like every other time, is extremely high. The expectations, whether it is India Inc., whether it is the big corporate houses, the Aam Aadmi, the common man on the street, starting from the auto rickshaw wala, the bus driver, to people like you and me, to the big corporate honchos of India, everybody's eyes now on the union budget. It's just a matter of time that the Finance Minister will be tabling her 7th budget in a row, and this is the 11th budget of the Modi government since 2014. Now, of course, what everybody wants, tax cuts, goes without saying. We all love that. Every taxpayer across the country, be it the corporates, be it the tax-paying individual, that is something that everybody wants. That is one more time high on the expectations list as far as the people in general and the companies and the traders are concerned. Of course, the traders, the corporate houses are also looking at some kind of, rejig, some kind of reviewing and rationalizing, further streamlining of the GST. They feel that it continues to hurt them since 2016 when it was first introduced. Of course, the list of expectations is long. It's always been that way. Every budget, the Finance Minister has a tough task to do. They always have a very tight rope walk to do because they have to maintain the fiscal deficit numbers. They have to offer a budget that pleases all. Always a tough task, whoever the Finance Minister is and whichever government is there at the center. Now, of course, this time round, please remember, the budget comes amid a very high double-digit food inflation. Food inflation, these are Commerce Ministry, these are government data that we are talking about. The food inflation stands close to 11%, really high food inflation numbers coming in there. The wholesale price numbers also at a 16-month high of 3.4%. Now, these are numbers that is coming out from the Commerce Ministry, from the Ministry of Statistics and Planning. These are absolute government numbers. Of course, the concern is there as far as the government is concerned. So amid these high food inflation numbers, now let me also talk about a little bit about the growth story. Definitely India is in a very sweet spot as far as the GDP growth, the country's economy growing is concerned. the country is on a high growth trajectory despite the global challenges. Let us not forget that COVID has just gone by. While most of the other countries are still trying to come out of those challenges, India has already hit the high growth path. India's growth numbers, of course, the economic survey, which was tabled yesterday, gave a very conservative growth target of 6.5 to 7%, but India is already growing. Like by the end of the fiscal, that is March 2025, India is expected to hit a high growth rate of anywhere upwards of 7%. Now, as far as the World Bank is concerned, the growth rate that they are forecasting for India stands at 6.6. International Monetary Fund, the IMF, sees India growing at 7%. The Asian Development Bank, ADB, expects India to grow at 7%. The Reserve Bank of India, 7.2% is where they see India growing. Now, why am I talking about these growth numbers? Is because this is what India follows. These are some of the very important numbers that the policymakers follow, the corporates follow, the stock markets follow. So these are some of the important numbers. Of course, I already spoke about the inflation numbers. Something that the industry will be looking for is, once again, capital tax gains, tax on capital gains, that they are still not very happy about. They want the finance minister to address. Now, the prime minister has a lot of pet projects where the allocation is expected to go up one more time by several thousand rupees. Of course, key top on the prime minister's agenda has always been Ayushman Bharat, the housing for rural Awas Yojanas that we have, then the rural, overall rural development, doubling farmers' income, creating comfort for the rural population, rural roads, rural housing, healthcare facilities. Of course, India spending as percentage of GDP, as far as the spendings on education and health is concerned, it needs to go up significantly. In fact, it is not even matching up to what the economic survey had said last year. So there, of course, all eyes will be there whether the allocation goes up or not. Infrastructure development, one more time high on the government's agenda, as it always has been. The railway infrastructure, of late we have seen a lot of accidents happening. Industry experts are also expecting that Nirmala Sitharaman might dole out few more 1,000 rupees as far as the security system, the signaling system and overall infrastructure development of the railways is concerned. So these are some of the key areas that the budget is expected to touch upon. Whether it really gives us the tax breaks or not, whether we get to have a sigh of relief as far as the tax breaks are concerned, remains to be seen. Whether it will be a please all budget, we don't know. As soon as it strikes 11, few minutes after that, we will get to know who gets what. And of course, let's also not forget that the budget will be a statement talking about how fast India will grow, as India wants to become the third largest economy globally and have a GDP of $5 trillion. So India already is a global player, one of the top global players, whether politically or economically. This budget of the finance minister has to stay on that trajectory. That is what the budget will be, a budget for Viksit Bharat by 2047. Amrita.